everyone. Hello and welcome to the Loven Stamp Studio. My name is Meg and I am excited to welcome you on this Tuesday morning, just kind of like Monday on our Loven Stamps deal. Anyway, welcome for a card video. I have another holiday card to share with you, and this one is all about color. So we've been talking about the black and white suite, Modern Christmas, this guy right here with all these pretty black and white and gold papers. And I shared first with you a green card, kind of ease into this idea that these black and white papers can be modified to match whatever color Christmas you want. So if you are known as the person who always loves orange, then feel free to make your card orange for Christmas. This paper makes it really easy to adapt to any color that you're interested in using. So since then, we've shown, like I said, a green Christmas card with this paper, a Blackberry Bliss card with this Christmas paper, and today we are going all out with Melon Mambo. So here are the colors. No, I can't turn it. Anyway, Melon Mambo. But the stamp set is Ornamental Christmas, and the suite, as I said, is called Modern Christmas. So lots of black and gold and white accents. Let's see. Oh, hey guys. Hey, Tanya. Oh, Tanya says it's a cool morning. Yes. The hot chocolate is a great choice. So yeah, so wherever you're watching from, say hi. Let us know if you're in the middle of your morning routine, or my East Coast and my European friends or Australian friends are all on totally different times of the day. So, all right, with that, I'm going to go ahead and flip our camera down, and I have like a mind blip here where I can't remember how that actually works. There we go. And so what I've got here is a set of supplies where we have, let's see, I'm going to fix this. Sorry about that. Here we go. Where we have our black and white, and this time, like I said, Melon Mambo. And so the nice thing about these papers is that they have a white background and then that gold foil, which hopefully you can see the gold foil on this paper. It looks like it's kind of blanking out. Anyway, okay, well here, you can see the gold foil here. There's lots of it. And so we are going to go ahead and do some scoring for a fun fold card. Hey, Sue. Oh, Lori. Oh, Lori says she's watching from somewhere in the ocean headed to the Mexican Riviera on a cruise ship. Okay, cruise ship internet is a pretty special dear deal. So I'm actually kind of excited that you're watching on a cruise. All right. Well, good. I'm glad we can be joined from all over. So, all right. So I'm bringing in my scoring Simply Scored tool here. This is an outstanding. It is giant here. I have just a little window right now, but it's got a big 12.5 by 12.5 mat on it. And so you can score lots of things, but I'm going to actually score here, and I've got these handy little markers. If you haven't gotten a Simply Scored board, there are a lot of things that I love this for. Yes, you can use the scoring blade on your paper trimmer. This one right here is a scoring blade. This is cutting, this is scoring, and they both come on the trimmer. But I actually, for fun fold kinds of cards, really love my Simply Scored board, because when you are scoring like this and you have your card stock slid all the way into the corner, you know that these lines are going to be parallel every time. So you don't have to worry about getting things crooked or anything like that. It's just a really, safe way to do our scoring. Hi, Joan. The other thing to know about this is, so on my surface right now, you can see that I have this kind of like squared up. If I was doing this not for a video, I would have this at an angle so that as I'm like, if I was writing, I would do this, right? If we're right-handed, we turn our tablet or our pad or our paper so that we can easily write this direction. And when we move our elbow, that works just fine. But if I was trying to write and I had my pad like this, and then I'd have to figure out how to torque my body and stuff, it's really hard to write this way. So when you're scoring for real, you want to make sure that your Simply Scored tool is aligned to what feels natural, not what like our mind thinks when we have to have things square, okay? So if you're left-handed, obviously you're going to turn it this way because then you're kind of going this direction. But for right-handers, we're going to turn it this way. So all that to say, I have a half sheet of cardstock, 8.5 by 5.5. I'm scoring at 4.25, 5.25, and 6.75. And this is going to be our card base. We also have a layer that is 2.75 by 5.5, and that's going to go on top of our center Z-fold card here. This is a really fun card. I love Z-folds because they give you the elements that you put in on the front of your card, also on the inside of your card. So when you open it, you still see the card front, okay? So let's go ahead and fold this here. I'm gonna fold in half, and then I'm going to fold back on that first score line. And then this is a little bit counterintuitive. I'm gonna fold back again. So we have kind of this shape going here. For our card. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to glue in this area. Now, tear tape is a great choice here. Seal Plus is a great choice, or multi-purpose liquid glue. You just want to make sure that you get a really strong glue here, because we want this to be sort of the new opening point of our card. And if you have an adhesive that's not as strong, it can pop open pretty easily with all that cardstock pressure against it. Okay, so now we have this here, and now you can see that this is going to be our fold back here on the center. Okay, all right, so now what to add to this? Like I said, I promised we're going to bring in Melon Mambo as our accent color for this card. And so I've got a piece of scrap paper here, and I'm going to go ahead and show you where these go. These are 3/4 inch wide strips, and they're going to go on the left and the right here like that. But I want them to be matching our colors here. So I'm going to pull my Melon Mambo ink pad and grab a blending brush, and I'm going to go ahead and color these. All right, so swirl to pick up ink, and then tap once to get off any huge extra, and then swirl to add pink to your cardstock or your paper, okay? We're going to come back and we're going to do a little bit more. We're going to do a little more blending here with our blending brush. All right, I get a lot of questions from people about how many blending, or how do you wash your blending brushes? And the answer to that is I don't. So I have actually a set of them. Let's see. Join me here in my studio for a moment. There we go. Okay, kind of messy over here, but do you see that right there? This is my blending brush storage, and I just keep all my blending brushes there, and so then I have kind of one for each color that I intend to use, and then I can grab those whenever I want. So I have one for oranges, one for pinks. Sometimes I use the pink one for reds, and one for yellows, one for blues, one for greens, etc. You can wash them. They take a little extra time to dry because these bristles are so tightly packed in here, but you definitely can wash them. The other thing you can do is you can go on to another color when they run out, because they don't hold ink forever. So like I could do a pretty light pink with this one and not have any concern about cross-contamination with my ink pad or anything like that. I don't know that I would use like, blue with it necessarily. It would probably come out a little purple until I kind of got the color cleared out. But they do come 3 to a package, so you don't have to, you'll get a good start on a couple colors to begin with for these. All right, so let's see. And all of the supplies for today's project are linked in the video description as always. So I'm just gonna put some glue on the back. One of the things I love about multi-purpose liquid glue is that it gives me the chance to slide things around just a little bit. If I realize I didn't quite get it as straight as I wanted to, I can always go back and shift it just a little bit until it grabs, which takes a couple seconds. So usually you have a little extra time to get things where you want them, okay? All right, so now if you're wondering about this extra piece here, this one is going to layer on top like so. And for here, we have this really pretty black and white check paper, circles, I guess. I don't know what that pattern is called, but you could use any of these stripes, these ornaments, any of these papers would be really pretty on this particular panel, which is nice because when your card kit comes for this card, if you're getting a card kit, it might have a different variety of papers, so you can adapt and mix and match for what you like. But when I say card kit, it's because if you place an order with me during the month of October for any value, any amount of order, then you're going to get a PDF in the mail or PDF in the email by email with the cutting directions and tutorials and printable PDF for all of these projects, the 4 that I'm showing this month with this suite. And if you have an order that's at least $60 before shipping and tax, then you actually get 2 card kits, and this is going to be one of the card kits. So, all right, we got a lot of pieces left to go here. So let's go ahead and glue this down. I'm going to leave this black and white and gold for a nice contrast. But we're going to come back to this. We're going to add a little color to it a little bit down the road here. All right, so got this layered. And then I'm not going to glue down yet because we have some things to add here. All right, so we need a focal point for this, and Ornamental Christmas has some great ones. The ones that I've shared with you already have been this fun ornament here, like so, as well as the trees here. So these are other ornament elements from this particular stamp and die set. But if we look at the dies, one of the ones that we haven't used yet is this really pretty star here. And so this one I love as a gold star. And so I've gone ahead and cut this from gold foil, and through the magic of television, I have this here ready to go. Okay, so this can go on our card, but I feel like it gets a little bit lost there in the background. So one of the other dies included is this handy circle here. And so we're going to go ahead, we're going to die cut a circle background to go behind here. And I'm going to cut that through the magic of television from a piece of Melon Mambo. Okay, so we've got our Melon Mambo there. We've got our star here. Now, the other thing you can do, of course, if you are working on like saving cardstock or whatnot, is you could go ahead and cut from, before you glue any of this stuff down, you could cut an ornament out of this black and white paper, or a tree. Does the tree fit? The tree does fit. You could cut the tree out of there. And when I say does it fit, I mean, will you be able to cover it entirely with the circle so no one will know that you've saved all that paper? Okay, so the answer to that is yeah, feel free to cut that out beforehand. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to glue this down here like so. And I'm kind of splitting the difference here left and right, so it's pretty well centered. And then our star has a direction to it. There's some shorter points and some longer points, so I think that it really wants to be set this way. And we're going to go ahead and put a dimensional right there in the center. All right, so this is going to get stuck down, and I'm going to kind of center that again. Now, where are we going to put our greeting on this, and what greeting are we going to use? And for our greetings, we have lots of great choices from Ornamental Christmas, wishing you peace and joy. Merry Christmas 'tis the season, be jolly, and then these other stamped elements that we can use. I really want a small greeting that goes down here though, and none of these are very small greetings. This one's really wide, but wait a minute, we have this option right here, peace and joy. So instead of using that whole greeting, I've got my stamp mounted here, and I'm going to do some selective inking. Now, selective inking is a great way to make the most of a portion of your image when you don't want the whole thing on there. And hi, Margaret. Hello to our East Coast friends. So when I do my selective inking, when you have a photopolymer stamp, you can just see exactly what you're doing. But with the red rubber, we have just a little bit extra challenge here. And so what I'm going to do is, I'm trying to turn this so you guys can see and I can both see. I'm going to ink with my black pad just that element right there. And I have a whole slew of this paper here cut and ready to go because there are a number of things that can go wrong. So first of all, can you guys see I cut an edge there, and I don't want my piece to be that small. So I've got another strip here. And I'm going to make sure that the end of the U doesn't have ink on it. And we're going to ink this again. So I'm just going to slide just that much there. All right, and try it again. And the angle is a little bit tricky. Oh, that was pretty good. Okay, I might try one more time and pick my favorite. So I'm going to ink this up one more time and stamp there. Oh, and that one's a little bit light. So I think this one's going to be my favorite. So we're going to go with it. You guys do this. Save your scraps, because this is basically like the trash piece that gets left over when I cut mats for my cards. And so I'm not losing anything to just, you know, stamp a whole bunch of them and figure out which piece I like better. So, all right, put that away. Now, don't forget when you're using StazOn, you want to go ahead and close this up with that protective layer in there that says do not discard. That's going to help to seal your pad here. It's an alcohol-based pad, so it evaporates more quickly than other pads would. And so you want to make sure you keep that ink trapped in there. All right, so here we have our greeting. Now, I feel like this gets a little bit lost down here, so we're going to bring in a little bit of color to add some accent, okay? Remember we said we're going to use our color for different things. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick up my blending brush again, and I'm going to just brush a little color here. I'm doing this dangerously without scrap paper behind. That's okay. Oh, I got ink on my table. All right, so now, and I went just a little bit wider. I'm basically giving us a little color accent here to go along with our label, and that's going to help that stand out. All right, here's a hint for you. If you get ink on your tabletop, you can often just use your Sammy to pick that ink up and have it clean, okay? This is a place where glass mats are a really great tool to be using. All right, I'm going to go ahead and, not that I'm using it, but you get the idea. It's really easy to clean a glass mat, or you can just use your grid paper. So, all right, and now I have our greeting on there. So you see how that just really, the black and white sets it off, but that color helps to set this particular greeting off as a separate layer. It gives it a little bit more depth to our elements. All right, now an extra step that I really love are these twines. These are the black and white and gold baker's twine. They're part of the suite with the Modern Christmas Designer Series paper and so forth. And so I'm going to pull this black one here. And so if you are placing your $60 order with me in October, you're going to get the card kit, and your baker's twine will be included. So you'll get a chance to kind of see how it all comes together and how this really pretty gold strand is in this black and white baker's twine. And so I'm going to go ahead and just tie a little bow here. All right. And I did okay, but not great. I'm not going to worry about it though. I'm going to teach you my trick for getting nice tight bows because it's really useful. So I could retie it and try and get it tighter, but the trick is even more satisfying. So, all right. Now I've got that sort of cinched down. My advice on bows is always when they don't look quite right, go ahead and I want this to be a little bit to the left there. When they don't look quite right, make your loops a little bit smaller. I find that big loopy bows tend to be a little out of scale. And when the loops are smaller, they tend to fit a little bit better on our paper. All right. Oh, and actually that got pretty tight. Okay, well, I'll show you my cheat here anyway. I need a strip of tear tape, and I've been using my tear tape. This one's from a paper pumpkin, I think, or a kit. That's okay. I'm going to grab a strip of tear tape here, and you can tear it or cut it. Ooh. Phew, excuse me. Ugh. I think the sunshine is making me sneezy. All right. So I have my ribbon on here, and in the center where I know that it is going to be hidden by my card, so it's going to be attached to the layer. Should make sure that that's the case. I am going to kind of place my first piece of the twine here, first piece of tape, I mean, and then place my second piece to trap in the little extra loop. Do you see how there's like a little loose loop there? So basically I shoved that excess into the middle, and then let's just double check. Whew, that was close. So that is going to be hidden here by our card, and the tear tape helps to hold everything in place, so you don't have to worry about that extra sloppy bowness to be on the front of your card. Okay, I do speak English. That was pretty awkward, but you know. All right, so let's go ahead and place this here on the front. A safe way to add your adhesive would be to put it on the card base panel, not on the back of this. You want to make sure that that glue doesn't go onto the panel of your card where it would be sticking your card shut, okay? All right. Okay, so we're gonna hold this for a second to make sure it doesn't shift. Remember, multi-purpose liquid glue has that extra second before it grabs, a couple seconds, so it gives you a chance to shift stuff as you need, but you also don't want to shift it accidentally. Okay. All right, now we have some extra accents to be adding here still, as well as the inside of our card. And I realized, I think I didn't cut the inside of our card. So for the inside of our card, we have a piece that's going to be 2¼ inches by 5¼ inches. And so here we go. Now we have that, and that's going to fit inside. And I want to add one more layered greeting inside our card. So I'm going to go ahead and pick, let's go with "'Tis the Season." I like that. And I really like the crispness of using black with our stays on here for our greeting. So I'm going to go ahead and stamp "'Tis the Season" here on the inside of our card with our black and white. And again, put that protector layer on and close up your pad. And now we're going to add this here. Now, let's go ahead and glue it down. I have a word of warning. You want to make sure that this doesn't show when your card is shut. And so you might need to slide it a little bit into the fold there. Make sure this gap is relatively straight because that kind of shows. And then just do a sample close of your card to make sure that that white layer doesn't peek out there. Okay, so yay, looking good. But I would love to have another gold element here, especially one that sort of connects here with the inside of our card. And so included in our dies, there are, let's organize these, oops, just a little bit here. There are some ornament toppers. There's this large circle, the 2 trees, and the dots here that go with our ornament. But these particular dies, I love these. I don't know, is there a name for this particular kind of star? It's like the modern star or mid-century modern star, or I don't know, whatever it is. But I love these. And the nice thing is that they can easily be cut from the scraps in the gold that you get from cutting your star. And so I have a couple of these through the magic of television that I have cut from our gold foil. Gold foil sheets are definitely something you're going to want to go along with this suite. And I'm going to go ahead and place a couple of these down here, and they're going to accent our greeting. Okay, so here they are with the stars. Here is our card without the star. And the greeting is good, but it gets a little bit lost. But then look what happens when we add these stars here. It really draws the eye down this direction, and suddenly the greeting is a much stronger focal point. Okay, so I kind of like to figure out where I want those and then go back and put a dot of glue. And if you don't like to grab little tiny pieces of paper, take your pick tool and set those onto those glue spots. Okay. All right, that one got a little twisted. There we go. I'm trying to hold the card shut. Normally what I would do is take this tool right here and take it off of my take your pick tool. So that's really easy to do. There's a little like locky thing here. And when you unlock it, this piece comes out. And then you can use both, like 2 hands here to get your pieces turned. And then if one sticks to the putty tip, you can pop it down with the pokey tool part. So this is a really handy tool. I love the way it's engineered. So, but just now I was trying to hold the card shut. So hard to use 2 hands when you've already got one taken. All right, so there is our center Z-fold card with our custom color Christmas. So like I said, now if you're thinking, Meg, Melon Mambo Christmas cards are not my thing, that's fine. I totally get it. I do actually kind of love this. Did anybody have one of those silver foil trees? I think they were big in the 60s and 70s, maybe early 70s. They were silver foil, and they were metallic. And then you'd have like a color light that you would shine at them, and the color wheel would make the tree go like all different cool colors. When I was growing up, we had one of those trees, but it was like just a little tabletop one with no light, and I loved that tree. I love foil, gold foil, silver foil, all those kinds of things. So this card makes me super happy. It kind of goes with that mid-century modern look, where basically you're taking your black and white and adding a single color to it to make the most of whatever color choice you want. Okay, so again, here's the cards that I've showed already. Yay. Oh, good. Tanya says she likes the Melon Mambo. Oh, yeah, Lori, the color wheel, right? I didn't even know the color wheel was a thing until later because we didn't have one to go with our little tiny tree, but I fully embrace how pretty that would be. So here are three of the four cards. I have one more still to show you. Three of the four cards that are included with the Loven Stamps monthly tutorials for the month of October. So again, if you have an order that's at least 20, or sorry, if you have an order any size, then you're going to get your PDF tutorial from me at the end of the month with all of the instructions and cutting sizes and all photos and so forth for making all of these fun cards, fun fold cards that we're featuring this month. If your order is at least $60, then you're going to get card kits for two of these. This is one of the card kits you're going to get. And then there'll be one more that I still haven't shown you guys. So I hope you guys are as excited about these gold and black and white accents as I am. These colors make me so happy. And I really like being able to mix and match. So we have one card left. I haven't decided what color I'm going to make it. So if you have a thought, give me a shout out. I don't know. I kind of feel like Coastal Cabana or maybe like Pool Party. I feel like we could get a blue in here. What color do you think we should make our last card for this series? Drop it in the comments or so forth. Let me know what you think because that's going to have to be coming up here pretty soon. So, all right, everyone, have a wonderful day. I hope that your week is off to a great start, that you have some great crafting planned, maybe your Christmas cards coming together. It's kind of getting to be that time. I cannot believe that we're more than halfway through the month of October. This is, I don't know, time flies. I'm always saying that. I don't know why I'm surprised anymore. But anyway, hope you guys are off to a good start with your week. And I'll be back on Thursday with another episode of Maker Mornings with Meg. And if you are part of our Maker Club, the Why Did I Buy This series from Lindsay Mann and then Maker Mornings with Meg Maker Club, then we meet tomorrow. So I'm looking forward to seeing everybody for our Maker Club session. So check your email. If you haven't yet, you get an email invite reminder for that if you are a current subscriber. And if you're not a current subscriber, we'd love to have you as part of Maker Club. There's a link in the video description, or you can visit my website at Loven Stamps and learn more about getting these monthly mini project shares and bonus projects and Zoom tutorials to go along. So actually, our center Z-fold is the same design as one I shared in Maker Club last month. It was this card here and had this fun element. And these were all based on things that were included in the Maker Club kit. So it's another really fun way to get involved stamping wise. Yay, Tanya Maker Club. Okay, lastly, if you have not seen it yet, the demonstrator starter kit that Stampin' Up! Carries is on an amazing deal, and it is $35. It has had amazing engagements already. We've had many, many new Loven Stamples demonstrators join us, so welcome if you're one of those folks. I'm excited to see you. But if you haven't checked out that starter kit special yet, make sure you do that. There's a link in the video description for this. It's basically a $90 shopping spree, which kind of hard to beat. So anyway, I look forward to talking to you guys soon. I'll see you on Thursday for a next episode of Maker Mornings with Meg. Thanks so much for joining me.